So it's week 2 of Diddy's trial here in New York, and day 2 kicked off with Cassie, who was the star witness for the prosecutors, taking the stand. Now, a lot of people feel like Cassie dropped the ball yesterday with her testimony, but I do not agree whatsoever. Cassie got on the stand and she detailed everything from the first day that they met to the time that they spent together, her 21st birthday, where that was her first time kissing, and she admitted that she didn't want to kiss him, that she felt, just very she didn't know how to feel. She felt confused. She was young.
I'm gonna get to the part where they said she dropped the ball. So this is Charlamagne, going off making his comments about Cassie and everything going on with that. If you guys have seen any of my other videos about the situation, I've been very kind of just straightforward, like where I get it. Like, trust me, at the end of the day, I think Diddy is disgusting and trifling. I definitely do think he is nasty. I think he is the worst. I think he was involved with an operation that he had no business being involved with. He should have been a man and said, I don't want no parts of this. This is going too far. And yeah, sometimes it might take your life, and I know it's easier said than done kind of thing, but like, come on, Christians, we need to stand up. I do not know if Puffy's if Sean was a Christian. I don't know. Don't care. I don't care. I have no respect for Diddy. For Sean, I have no remorse, or like, I don't feel bad for him or none of that. But the problem is that I'm seeing some reports and the things that they're charging him for, and I'm just like, I don't understand this. They're trying to charge him for moving people, and she's supposed to be one of them, but it all sounds like a consensual relationship to me. Let's go ahead and get into the clip.
She was crying. She set the scene early for the power dynamic of, this big mogul who was supposed to be helping me in music, who had such a big life that she just uncontrollably fell in love with, and things got bigger than her.
That was 17-year age difference, correct?
Yes, and that was the narrative, and they were.
I do not understand why people. When I was 20, I was dating a 31-year-old, right? Okay, so maybe it wasn't 17 years, but believe me, I would have probably had no problem. If he was 35, I would have still dated him. And yes, there was a power trip there. Do I have a case? Should I go back and and check and see? That's never crossed my mind. Never. It was an experience, and I finally, I got out of it, right? So I don't know, again, why people keep on bringing that part up.
Together, for those who don't know,
sorry, by the way, please don't forget that the like and subscribe button and the notification bell. Thank you to every eye that lands on these videos.
10, 11 years. Now, after she details a lot of the background, she starts going into the things that a lot of us wanted to know about. So they talk to her about the freak-offs, and what she says about the freak-offs is that Diddy allegedly was in control. She says that, it was very well choreographed. Like, it was almost, when she was describing it, I was like, it sounds like he was shooting a music video.
Executive producing.
No, for real. She says that, there were certain supplies that they would have, right? So they would do, candles as the lighting, and it would always be like Glade, or there was another brand that she mentioned because he wanted it to smell a certain way. And then she
Glade.
says
Candles.
Then she says that they would get extra linens, and we've heard this story, but she said that because we heard before that there were extra linens because
of Dookie on the sheets.
So what she said was she was actually made to have freak-offs during her period, and so there would be blood on a lot of the sheets. And she said she didn't want to do that, but she was being made to do that allegedly. And she also alleged that there'd be urine on the sheets, and we've heard testimony about the urine and why those things happened allegedly. And baby oil. She said that they would oil up so much. That was like a big thing for Puff allegedly. Like, you had to be oiled. That every 5 minutes they were like just re-oiling because
he wants you to look like a shiny suit.
Yeah, because it glistens, and I guess it's the sexy.
So is this evidence to put somebody So this is evidence to put somebody away, right? Drop a comment below. Let me know. Like let's keep it real. Like, we already know we don't like Diddy. We do not like Sean. But trifling sex has now become evident. The goalpost is moving. Okay. Like, and definitely on that time of the month thing, like, nobody could, like, I'm sorry, like, not, no, because the kind of cramps. Okay, by the way, sorry. Okay, maybe, I'm just like, what? I don't know. But, wow, okay.
Of baby oil on.
You want you to glisten like them shiny suits he used to wear in the 90s.
This is so sad. I guess so. And then when we were talking about the urine, she talked about that in one of the freak-offs because they'd asked her, opened up our testimony or our opening statement, the prosecutors, talking about, you alleging that there was a male escort that was made to pee, or I'm sorry, that was made to urinate on you.
You can say pee. Same thing.
Urinate on you. Can you detail that? So she starts to detail that, and she says that at one point she was choking, obvious reasons. And they asked, well, why didn't you just ask them to stop? And when I say them, she updated us and let us know.
Who's the attorney? Riley Freeman? This is why wouldn't you just move out the way? That's what he asked for.
Basically, they just asked, like, at this, because it didn't sound like she was being held against her will at that point, like physically. So they're like, well, why would you just, because she said she laid down with her hands up a lot of times when that was happening, because she didn't like it and it was a lot going on. And she said that not only would the escorts do it, allegedly Puff would join in as well. And she said when they would get to a point where it was too much for her, sometimes he would tell the escorts, Puff would tell the escorts allegedly, like, yo, all right, let's stop, let's chill. So they asked her, like, why wouldn't you just tell them to stop yourself? And she said, I'm laying on the floor, and allegedly intoxicated by all these things, and it's two men standing over me. What am I going to do? So I just lay there
with pee.
Yeah, and so
the reason they ask that question is because they know the defense is going to ask that question, so they try to make sure that they ask questions that the defense are asked to, make it more comfortable.
Yeah, but she broke the freak offs down in steps as well. She said that the first step was there was like masturbation, and they would have to do masturbation. It would be her and the escort, and she would have to talk out loud and describe what she was seeing. She would have to be very descriptive because allegedly Puff would want to hear that. She said
he would be blindfolded, right?
No, not all the time, because once they got more comfortable with the escorts, from what it seems like she's describing, the blindfolds would come off and all that stuff.
You got mad notes, Lauren. I need to see those.
Yeah, and they're highlighted. I had to organize them better because I felt like yesterday I had a lot of information that I didn't get, so I organized them better. Highlights. I made notes in the back of important points to get to in here. You can read these notes.
Lauren is in the courtroom. She's in the courtroom.
That was a new notebook. At the beginning.
I bought a second one yesterday.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So that first step was the descriptive foreplay, and then step 2 is the touching. Now, step 2, she alleges, is that's when all the baby oil comes out. Step 3 is oral, and she says that a lot of times she would rush to get to the oral because she just wanted to get it over with, because she kept making a point of she didn't want to do this. She just was doing it because she was so in love, and she said she didn't want him to go and do it with anybody else. Now, step 4 was the actual intercourse where they would engage in, sex, and she said that sometimes Puff would just watch, allegedly, but then she said other times he might join in if they were really comfortable with an escort. So that would look like her giving Puff head, and allegedly, or wait, I can't.
No, you can't say that part.
That would look like her giving Puff fellatio.
Fellatio, yes.
And the other escort having sex with her at the same time. Now, she did give us an update I didn't know if I needed. She said that a lot of times after they would finish, the escorts would have a happy ending, and Puff would make her take that happy ending and rub it on his nipples, and then they would engage in whatever they were going to do, just Cassie and Puff allegedly.
So his man milk on Puff's nipples?
That's what Cassie is alleging, that that Puff liked her to rub it on his chest and on his nipples.
Jesus.
And
so chocolate covered nipples with a semen drizzle.
And this one, he's excited about it. I've heard Charlamagne say some really weird things, so I'm sorry. I'm not going to sit here and act like he's going to be really disgusted about it. I think that these details are trifling. I think they're really nasty. They are. There's some horrible things. I would have been so turned off. Like, just about most of it would have been this kind of reporting now makes you end up talking about yourself somehow. And I don't want to get into, obviously, like, that's weird, right? But just to be straight, blunt, I'm not a prude, but at the same time, this is a bit much. This is a lot. And then the 2 man together thing, like that right there for me is like, even in the same room, even if they're like, but then take the and then put it on me, like, oh no, like, you're gay. And so I can't, I'm from the old school, so it's like, oh, I didn't know you were gay. Like, I'm not, in a gay guy, sorry. Like, not knowingly anyway, because you just never know these people. It's just so much anyway. But like this type of stuff. Listen, at the end of the day, again, I think that this guy is disgusting, and I think he's trifling. I have I don't have many other ways I could say how nasty I think he is. Like, I think he is gross. I think he is just pathetic. I don't even know what words I can use. I think he's just sick. And by the way, we knew that he was kind of a little, saucy, if you will, because Karen Steffens, she made that that clip, that book she wrote when she wrote the Superhead book. Like she said that he was down, he got down like that with that guy with the umbrella. I forgot his name. The umbrella guy. You guys know who I'm talking about. I forgot his name or whatever. But anyway, just a lot of nasty stuff that was going on. It's all disgusting. It's all nasty. But what are we doing here? Like we are now. What we're doing is dissecting their private life, which is very nasty, right? For him to go to jail? Why is he in jail? Somebody please drop a comment and let me know. Like, maybe I'm the dumb, but we looked at the charges. And they're saying, like, oh, but he moved people and kept them against their own will or something. She wasn't shackled there. She was, like, moving around and stuff. I just don't know what else to say. I'll see you guys at the next one. Bye.